Hello. Hello. Today I am here to discuss the decision-making skills that when we have many alternatives, so what alternative we should go. For example, we have to decide different options. So what should be our decision? So today the topic is decision-making skill. Decision-making skills. This is the topic for today, my live session. Good morning, Arif Khana Chakzai and others. Although I know it is very early in the morning, for me it is good evening, rather good night. But still, you know, that's why I will be going to sleep and you might have got up now. So today the topic is decision-making skill. How we make decisions. For example, we have to take a course of action. So what should be our decision-making criteria? Criteria, the word criteria. Criteria is the plural of criterion. Characteristics, prerequisites. What do we require to do something? So that is called criteria. So when we decide something, so for that we need some characteristics. कोई भी फैसला करने से पहले हमारे पास कुछ मालूमात होनी चाहिए और उसके बाद हम फैसला कर सकते हैं. So today the topic is decision making skill. What is decision making? How can we make decision? And when we have to choose, we have a lot of options. So what should be our option and what we should do when we have to decide? So decision. Do you know what is the meaning of the word decision? What is the etymology of the word decision? Anyone can tell me what is the etymology of the word decision? Where from we have got this word? The word decision. Anybody can tell me that what's the meaning of the word decision? When we say decision, okay, walaikum salam, Liaquat Ali. Very soon we will see each other here again. You are my neighbor. I'm happy. So I'm asking you, what is the meaning of the word decision? Anybody can tell me the exact meaning of the word decision? When we take decision, so we must know what is decision. Ha, ayas khana chudumna na poige, no zan poa kaga na. decision, faisala. What is the meaning of the word decision? Anybody can tell me. Cut off. Good. Munib Kambo. Decidere. Basically, the word decision is taken from a Latin word, decidere. You might know the word seed, C-E-D-E, seed. Seed means to cut. Very good, Munib. Cut off. Decision is taken from the word decidere, and the word seed. Seed means to cut. So cut means that when we have different ways, different paths to go, and we cut off all other alternatives, and we take one. So that is called decision. I was just talking about the original meaning of the word decision, original. That how originally the word decision developed. So this branch of linguistics is called etymology. When we go and see the origin of the word and development of the word, so this is called etymology. So etymology of the word, whenever there is a term, is already I have explained many times that there is a difference between term and word. Term and word. All the terms are words, but all the words are not terms. For example, the word decision may be a word for a common person, but in psychology and management, especially strategic management, the word decision is a term. So when it is a terminology, when it is a term, so we must go what is its exact meaning and what is its origin and where from the word decision came, like in our vocabulary. So decision, as you said, Munib, this is to cut off. The word decision basically means to cut off. Cut off. Because this is the etymology of the word is seed. Seed means to cut off. Okay, difference between word and term. All the terms are words, but all the words are not terms. So term is a specific word with a specific meaning in a particular subject. That is called term. Okay, when we say term, the term is also a word, but it has definition. For term, we give definition, and for word, we give meaning. That is the difference. Some people want to become good writers. So how they become good writers? When they use more terms, more terminology, then that is called term. When we use just words, we can't become good writers. We must use terms. That is the difference. Because what is term? Term and word. Today I have a whiteboard for you. So we will discuss the things in a technical way. When we say term, T-E-R-M, term, and when we say word, okay. Now, for example, the word decision. Decision is a common word. We use it. But when we come to psychology and strategic management, So the word decision becomes term. It doesn't become word. In psychology and strategic management generally, we use the word decision as a term, not as a word. So for a word, we need meaning. We need meaning. And for a term, we need definition. In the world of knowledge, the most difficult thing, that is definition. Now, anybody can tell me what is the meaning of definition and what is the definition of definition? What is definition as meaning and what is the definition of definition? Anybody can tell me what is the definition of definition? Definition. Stress is on the first syllable. Another person asked me that how can we improve our pronunciation? So one of the technique, that is to know where we put the stress. For example, when we say definition or some, no, the stress is on the first syllable, definition. Like detail, not detail, detail, definition. So stress, ये जो शब्द होता है हमारी लैंग्वेज पे, शब्द are stress. So that is on the first syllable, definition. So what is the definition of definition? Anybody can tell me what is the definition of definition? Definition must have no other term needed to elaborate. Okay, Munib, good. Actually, the word definition means to provide limits. Limits. When we say define, so define means what are the limits, where from it starts and where it ends. That is called definition. So when we say decision, so what is the definition of? No, Liaqat Ali, exact meaning of any word is definition. No, meaning can be exact. Meaning can also be exact in it itself, while definition is providing limits. When we provide limits to something, so then that is called definition. Where from it starts and where it ends, so this description is called definition. When we describe something with its limits, for example, we said definition of psychology. Where from psychology starts, where it ends, where from philosophy starts and where it ends. So that is called definition. While meaning is for a word and definition is for a term, because term is a word with a particular meaning in a particular subject. That is called definition. Now, when we say the word decision, which is our today's topic, how to make decisions, how to take decisions. So when we say the word decision as a term in psychology and management sciences, so we call it, we go in details of the word decision. Yeah, describing exactly, Jia Khan, the nature and scope of something. So when we describe the limits, where from it this thing starts and where it ends, so this is the most difficult thing in epistemology. Do you know what is epistemology? It's a very interesting thing to know what is epistemology. 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 Epistemology is the knowledge of knowledge. What is knowledge? What is the nature of knowledge? Epistemology. This is a branch of philosophy. If you go to philosophy with Naeem Khan group, so you will see a lecture in which I discussed epistemology. So epistemology is to study the nature of knowledge. The nature of knowledge. What is knowledge? What is valid knowledge? What are the sources of knowledge? What is knowledge and what is not knowledge? So this thing we discuss in epistemology, which is a branch of philosophy. So when you go and join the group philosophy, so there you can see a lecture where I have tried to explain what is epistemology. So the most difficult thing in knowledge or epistemology is definition, to define something. We know many things, but we don't know what is its definition. So a true lover of knowledge, a true learner, a true seeker of knowledge will always go for definitions. For the clarity of mind, which is called perspicacity. Perspicacity. It is a knowledge skill. Perspicacity is a skill, a life skill. Clarity of mind. Perspicacity. So when we go in knowledge, so we see perspicacity. 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 So in perspicacity, this is a life skill. Okay, very few people have this skill, perspicacity. So perspicacity is clarity of mind. When your mind is clear, when you don't have confusion, we are not confused, you are clear. Clarity of mind, clarity of thoughts, cognition, cognitive clarity, cognition. Cognition is a very important term in psychology. Cognition. Cognition. I hope you see what I write here on the whiteboard. Cognition. Okay, what is recognition? But the term here is cognition. So cognition, what is going on inside our mind? And you might have heard another term, which is metacognition. Metacognition. Metacognition is to know. When we use the word meta with cognition, we use the word meta, M-E-T-A, metacognition. So metacognition means to think over your thoughts. Metacognition is thinking over your thoughts. You are thinking and you are observing your thoughts. Think over your thoughts. Thinking on thinking. That is called metacognition. And metacognition is one of the recipe, one of the way that how can you sleep easily at night. Okay, this is one of the formula by Osho. Osho, O-S-H-O. Osho is a spiritual guru, a great man. He awakened me a lot. My life is so much, dedicated to this man, Osho. I was totally sleeping in my life. So one of the people who awakened me, that was Osho. So Osho says that when you want to sleep at night, so one of the formula is metacognition. Metacognition means observe your own thoughts. Okay, what are you thinking? Think over that. Metacognition. So decision making is basically a cognitive process. This is the process of your thoughts. And as Shakespeare says, that we are what, but what we think. So our thoughts are very important. So when we want to make a decision, so that process is called to cutting off other alternatives and taking the course of action which you really like and which really suits you. That is called decision making. Now, for example, there are many alternatives. So how you will decide that which alternative you like and which really suits you? So there are two ways that we make decisions. One is perspective and the other is descriptive. When we want to make decisions, so there are two ways. One is prescriptive. Prescription. This is also called normative. Okay, prescriptive or normative. It is, these two words are very important, and these two words mean what should be. Should. What ought to be. Prescriptive and normative. What is the norm? Prescriptive. Prescriptive means when something is prescribed to you. For example, you go to a doctor and the doctor gives you a prescription. The thing is prescribed. Prescription. You don't have any choice. When the doctor tells you you have to take these medicines, although I try not to go to a doctor today, I had to go to a doctor for my tooth, but you have to clean sometime. But actually, when you go to a doctor and the doctor prescribes something, so that is called prescription. So in that you have no alternative. You have to go for that. Normative. What norm? This is norm. This is usual. This is what should be. So one decision making model is prescriptive, and the other decision model is descriptive. And another word for descriptive is positive. Positivism is a very important philosophy. Positivism. This is not that negative positive thing. Positive here has another significance. Positivism means that when you are objective, like the first one was subjective and this is objective. Objective means what it is, not what it should be. So in the world, when we see things, so the things are either objective or subjective. What should be is subjective, and what is scientific. Is and should. In these two words, we have the whole world of knowledge. Like religion is should. Religion is should, while science is. Science will tell you what it is. Science won't tell you what should be. While religion will tell you what should be. Religion will not tell you what is. So when we understand these two words, is and should, so we will understand prescriptive, descriptive, positive, normative, subjective, objective. So in science, in the world of science, what is important? That is, not what should be. So today our topic is decision making. When we have to make a decision, when we have to cut off, the word decision means to cut off. When you have to cut off all other alternatives and you have to go one way, so that is called decision making. Decision making is an art, and decision making is a science. Art and science. So science is factual, what is, while art is aesthetical, that is aesthetic, beauty. You find the beauty in what appeals you. So that is called art. So I have given a definition in my comments there, that you have two ways to take decision, as already I explained, but now in another way is intuition. What is intuition? That is your gut feelings. Gut feelings. Gut or guts is inside your stomach, inside your intestines, your inside body, gives you signals. Do it. It is good for you. And it is a pseudoscience. Many people, they go for palmistry or physiognomy or other sciences. So that is called gut feelings. So it is intuition that comes from inside. While the other way is positive. That is objective. That is reasoning. Okay, that is philosophical, analytical. Philosophy is related to science, while intuition or mysticism, that is more related to religion. So in philosophy, you reason, you ask questions, why, analytical. You become critical thinker. In philosophy, you become critical thinker. In religion, you cannot become a critical thinker. I don't think so, that you can become critical thinker in religion. Religion has its own approach. It has its own world. Religion is prescriptive. Religion will tell you what you should do. Religion will not give you a choice to do it or not to do it. So Lawrence Morin is here, my friend from Canada. I hope you and your family, they are all right. Today our topic is decision making. How to make decisions in life. So I was discussing etymologically the origin of the word decision, which is taken from seed, C-E-D-E, seed. Seed means to cut off. When you cut off all other alternatives and you adopt, you go on one particular way, course of action. So that is called decision making. Now, what are the models of decision making? That how can we make decisions? What are different models? So one of the important model that I like personally, that is the word decide. Decide, D-E-C-I-D-E. Decide. And this decide is an acronym. 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 What is acronym? Acronym is abbreviation when you pronounce it like a complete word. That is called acronym. So decide is here acronym. For each letter, we have a significance. Can you tell me what decide means here? Decide is a verb and decision is abstract noun, but here decide means that when you have to take decision, so number one, D is from define. Define. You define the problem. When we take decision, so there is a problem and we discuss that. Okay. So define a problem. First, we have to define the limits, where from the problem starts. For example, you have to choose your optional subjects in an examination. So you start that where is the problem? Are you interested in science or art? You are interested in history, management. You are interested in philosophy, psychology. Where is the problem? Okay, so decide. You first define your problem, and then E is for what? Establish. E is for establish or enumerate. E is for establish or enumerate. C is for consider or collect. Consider or collect. And I is for identify. Identify. And D is for develop. Develop a course of action. Develop. D. And E is evaluate or monitor. E. Evaluate or monitor. That is E. So you see here, D define, E establish, C consider, again D develop, and E, that is evaluate. This is decide. How to make decision. Then you think over the word decide and you get the solution there. Decide. So for making decision, you need these things. Define the problem. What is your problem? Establish all the criteria, constraints. Where are the problems? Enumerate. Consider or collect all the alternatives. What are your alternatives? For example, you are a student of literature, so chemistry or zoology won't be your alternative. And then we come to consider or collect the alternatives, identify the best alternative. In all these, which one is your best alternative? And D, develop and implement a plan of action. And 6 is evaluate and monitor the solution and examine feedback when necessary. So this is decide. This is one model. Now, there is another model, how we make decisions in our life. So there is another model also. And that model is also very important. First, you tell me, did you like the model of decide? What did you learn from it? Please tell me from decide. Remember, because my basic purpose is not only telling you things, but it also inculcation. That you must inculcate. There should be no analysis paralysis. A very dangerous thing is analysis paralysis. What is analysis paralysis? Analysis paralysis is that when you have so much knowledge, you analyze too much, you think over things too much, and then you are paralyzed. Then you have no what to do. So too much knowledge is also not good. That is called analysis paralysis. In decision making, one of the obstacles is analysis paralysis. And that's why I also request you people that don't be members of so many groups and so many pages and so many academies and so many things. Otherwise, you will suffer from analysis paralysis. You will be paralyzed. So one of the models that was decide. Now tell me, what is decide? D for what? E for what? C for what? Think over it. So now I'm coming to the second model, and the second model is gopher. G-O-F-E-R. Gopher. So gopher, G is for goals. Goals identification. goals clarification. O is for options. What are your options? F is for facts, facts and figures. C is for consideration of effects. Sorry, goals, clarification, options, generation. F is for finding, search for information, and effects. Okay, E is for effects. What will be the effects of it? And R is for review. Gopher. So you can find these things in internet, the details. Just Google Gopher, decide. So there are different models that you can find for decision making. Okay, now coming to the subject, that you have to decide what subjects, what careers, or what occupational groups you have to decide. I gave you two models, decide and Gopher. Define your problem and then establish all the alternatives. Then think over each, what are the alternatives, what will be the effects, review, monitoring, and then you will come to the decision. This is not easy thing to decide, because decision is not easy thing in life, because sometimes you don't have any alternative, and sometimes you have so many alternatives, so you are suffering from analysis paralysis. You are paralyzed, you don't know what to do, you are confused. So as I said, the decision making can be normative and it can be prescriptive. A prescriptive, normative, or it can be objective. You can take decisions on individual level and you can take decision on group level. You can also talk to people, because the decision making theory, sometimes alone, a person alone cannot decide. You must go for some people, some group, and talk to them that this is my problem. And what is problem? For example, problem is that when in life you are suffering from a situation that you can't decide things. Okay, Tabinda Ali. Analysis paralysis is that when you have so much knowledge, when you have so much, like when you are analyzing a problem analysis, you are analyzing a problem, there is a problem. So what is problem? Problems are merely deviation from performance standards. You want to perform something, so deviation from your standards, that is called problem. So problem must be precisely identified and described. Problems are caused by a change from distinctive feature. Distinctive feature, as I said before my journey, that my lectures will be now a little more technical and philosophical. So please listen to my previous lectures so you will understand. My quality, or for example, my communication with you people will become now more scholarly. So something can always be used to distinguish between what has and has not been affected by a cause. Cause and effect. In life, one of the, we have in physics, Newton laws, one of the philosophical law, which is like physical law, that is cause and effect. There is a cause for everything and there is an effect for everything. That is called cause and effect. So problems are caused by a change from a distinctive feature. So these are, problem analytical tools. And then there are characteristics of decision making. Objectives must first be established. What are my objectives? Next, objectives must be classified and placed in order of importance. Which one is number one? Priority. Number 2, number 3, alternative action must be developed. If not this, so then what? Many people, like for example, CSS. So is CSS for you is a hero and zero, do or die, or you have some other alternatives also? I am, for example, performing my duties with a lot of self-confidence because I have a lot of other alternatives. If I don't have alternative, then my decision making will be do or die, zero or hero. So that situation is life and death situation, should not be there in decision making. Okay. The alternative must be evaluated against all the objectives. Your objectives and your alternatives. Evaluated. The alternative that is able to achieve all the objectives is the tentative decision. There are stages in decision making. One is tentative and one is final. Do you know the word tentative? Tentative. Tentative stage. Tentative is not final. So there should be a stage that it is tentative. The tentative decision is evaluated for more possible consequences. I will take a decision for a time being, and then I will go in details, and then I will see what are the possible consequences. The decisive actions are taken, and additional actions are taken to prevent any adverse consequences from becoming problems and starting both systems, problem analysis and decision making, all over again. Think over it. Sometimes you are deciding something and your decision becomes your problem. Okay, thank you, Apardir. So I have a lot of memories. I told you about your place, Apardir. We have to go from Dir to Chatral, walking and crossing Lowri mountains in snow. So sometimes you take a decision and that decision becomes a problem. So this is called vicious circle. In life, there are cycles which are virtuous cycles and which are vicious cycles, vicious and virtuous. I think you may understand these two words, virtuous and vicious. Vicious is from the vice. Vice is something bad. And virtuous is from virtue, something good. For example, you have money. You have $1,000. So you can increase this $1,000 into $2,000 and $5,000 and $10,000 and one day $1 billion. That is virtuous cycle. That's why a rich person always get richer. And the vicious cycle is for a poor person that he doesn't have $1,000, so he will get 900 and 100 and then one day zero and then one negative, then he will get loan. So vicious cycle and virtuous cycle. So sometime you make a decision, for example, many married couples, they take a decision and they marry some person and then that decision becomes a problem. So this is what I was telling you about these decision making techniques. So the tentative decision is evaluated for more possible consequences. The decisive actions are taken and additional actions are taken to prevent any adverse consequences from becoming problems and starting both systems, problem analysis and decision making, all over again. There are steps that are generally followed that result in a decision model that can be used to determine an optimal production plan. There must be a plan, optimal production plan. Optimal means appropriate, proper, correct. In a situation featuring conflict, role playing may be helpful for predicting decisions to be made by involved parties. So this is the whole process of making decisions. Now, Tabinda asked me analysis paralysis. What is analysis paralysis? Let me write it again on the whiteboard. So please, those people who are new, they must go and watch my other lectures, because now this is level 2. This is gear 2, second gear. So I'll be a bit more philosophical and a bit more deep. So analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. What is analysis paralysis? You know the two words analysis, analytical, when we divide things into its parts, and paralysis is when the things are paralyzed. It is a kind of disease. When the things stop, it don't go further. You can't move your arm, for example, so you are paralyzed. That is called paralysis. So analysis paralysis is the state of over-analyzing or overthinking a situation so that a decision or action is never taken, in effect paralyzing the outcome. This is the definition of analysis paralysis. Is the state of over-analyzing or overthinking a situation so that a decision or action is never taken, in effect paralyzing the outcome. It becomes counterproductive. Okay, counterproductive. We become our own enemies, because if you are not sincere with your own self, you can't be sincere with others. Remember, that's why if you have gone in an aeroplane and the air hostess, when she explains to you when there is an emergency, so first you save yourself, then save others. Today I have done CSS, so I'm talking to you. I have studied some books and I have got some knowledge, so that's why I'm talking to you. If I would have wasted my time, so I would be unable to talk to you anything. Sir, if someone is in this condition, what is the solution then? So this is our topic today, decision making. I already, if you have joined later, so please listen to my video again. Technically, we are discussing decision making. So I told you decision making is to cut off all other alternatives. And you should not be involved in a stage of analysis paralysis, that you are overthinking something. Too much thinking is also not good. As I told you, mindlessness. Mindlessness. Okay, you know, sometimes mind is good, very good. Time is good. Space is good. Time, space, mind. These are three good things. But sometimes, if these three things are not there, it is good. This is the definition of paradise. Paradise. What is paradise? What is heavens? Celestial. Celestial. Celestial, it means when you are in stars. I love astrology, and I love palmistry. Palmistry, when you read your palm lines. Why? Because you go beyond time, space, and mind. Because sometimes, you know, this paralysis makes you paralyzed. You have so much knowledge that then you can't enjoy things. So take decisions with possible outcomes, but please when I explain something, so please don't ask again, otherwise, you know, this whole process will be disturbed. So now coming to information overload. Sometimes you have so much information overload in decision making is too much dangerous. When you make a decision, so information overload, this is very bad. Overload, a lot of information is also not good. Information overload is a gap between the volume of information and the tools we have to assimilate it. So this time I'm really like worried that I myself may not be committing information overload, because you are overloaded with so much information. The gap between the volume of information and the tools we have to assimilate. Assimilate means digest. Assimilate. We have a lot of information, and sometimes we can't digest those information. Do you have the capacity to digest that information, or it is information overload? So avoid information overload sometime. Excessive information affects problem processing and tasking, which affects decision making. Illusion of knowledge, which means that as individuals encounter too much knowledge, it can interfere with their ability to make rational decision. When you have so much knowledge, so this knowledge can also destroy. Because I have seen many CSS aspirants, CSS candidates, that they have so much information, a lot of information. That is also not good. You must focus on a particular page or group or academy, and then just be there. Don't go here and there. Okay, I may get something from here, something from there. No, that is information overload. Many people, what they say, spoil the broth. When there are so many cooks, so then it can have a big problem. Now, post-decision analysis. What is post-decision analysis? Evaluation and analysis of past decision is complementary to decision making. And this is called mental counting or post-mortem documentation. Post-mortem documentation is, you might have seen the doctors, they do post-mortem. So similarly, you can do post-mortem of your decision, that what decision I have taken. So is it good or it is bad? So I told you that you can take decisions in group or you can take decision in individually. But it is good that you go for somebody asked me about the gopher. G-O-F-E-R, gopher. So gopher is a decision-making model, an acronym for goals, options, facts, effects, review. Okay. You make your goals, then what are the options for you? What are the facts? What will be the effects, consideration of effects, and what you should then do, review and implementation. That is called gopher. G-O-F-E-R, gopher. Another model that I discussed with you, that was decide. Decide. To decide is define problem, establish, consider the alternatives, identify the best alternative, develop and implement a plan of action, evaluate and monitor the solution, and examine feedback when necessary. That is decide model. Gopher model, decide model. And we have another model also, which is other. O-T-H-E-R, other. This is another model, new model, which I didn't explain before. Other model. Outline your goal and outcome. Outline. Okay, outline. So O for outline, then gather data, develop alternatives, list pros and cons of each alternative, make the decision, immediately take action to implement it, learn from and reflect on your decision. So I also told you that rational and irrational decisions, sometimes you take an irrational decisions. And then you have optimizing and satisficing. What is good and what makes you happy. Sometimes, people, some things make you happy, which is not optimum. The things are not good apparently, but it gives you happiness. So you can go for happiness. It is not necessary that you must decide which is really beneficial for you. So there are different models. I will be discussing this thing more in psychology and or happiness groups. Now coming back to the question answer session, I discussed technically what is decision making, and for the last 1 hour 55 minutes, decision making, what is decision and how can we make decisions. So I told you two important models. One was gopher and the other was decide, and then others, there are many others ways and means that how you can decide. If you have some particular questions about selection of your optional subjects, your careers, your occupational groups, so please now you can ask questions. Yes, Munib, you are right. Sometimes irrational decision making is also important in your life. Sometimes we go for love, not for business. You know, for some people, marriages are, for example, a career. These are, you know, some of the things that we decide in our life. So our optional subjects, what subject should I study, art or science? In CSS, which group should I go? You know, these are some of the important decisions that we take in our life. So if you have any question, because this is for 1 hour that I was speaking on the decision skill, because what is skill? I love the word skill, and that's why we have a life skills institute, life skill. So what is skill? Skill is when you are sure about the outcome of an action, then you are skilled. If you are not sure about the outcome, so then that is not you know, skill. You are not skilled, you are rough. Following the models would definitely make decisions easier. Exactly. But you know, as I told you, this is intuitional. Inside also, everybody has its own particular environment and ambitions. So you cannot decide for others. Many people have some, like in social media, sometimes you don't know how honestly the person is talking to you about the problem. Maybe in your personal life, and I will also, I'll be repeating this thing, that all of you must watch the movie, The Circle. The Circle. You would love it. The Circle. If you watch this movie, The Circle, so then your social media life will become, from virtual, it will become factual, it will become real. Yes, Munib, very good. Please help me in my other groups. We have a lot of groups, so I need people like you who have clarity of mind and they know definitions. I love people who know definitions, because it's very difficult to know definitions. We have sometimes, you know, vague ideas. We have ambiguity. We are just not clear. Clarity of mind is very important. Asif Khan, physics is an optional subject is better, or it should be replaced by art subjects? Asif Khan, basically physics. I love physics myself. I don't love mathematics that much, but physics, and especially modern physics. When you go for Einstein, and when you go for thermodynamics, and when you study, you know, light, and when you study energy, and you study matter, and then you study quantum physics. So it is so beautiful, you know, the subject of physics. Physics is basically the study of universe, matter, because life is divided into matter and non-matter. And when you study things like dark energy, dark matter, so I love physics, and you can make physics as art. Please, physics is a subject that you can make art out of physics. Sometimes, you know, chemistry, although it is very interesting, But I would love that you people make physics as an art, as literature, as poetry. Make physics as art. So don't go for art subject. I won't recommend Asif Khan. Go for physics, but love it. And physics teaches, laws of Newton, very simple physics, but there is such a big philosophy in physics. Action and reaction. Simple. This is the law of attraction. This is the law of success in life. Umar Khan څنګه ته ګوره زما دغه ګوره او زه پوهېږم چې ته زما په انګریزي به نه پوهېږې خو ته زما ډېر ښه ملګری او زما خبرې اورې نو بس خوشحاله اوسه او کلي کې به ویم چې هر څه به ښه وي ډېره مننه چې ته دلته کې راغلی یې ډېر خلک زما به د انګریزي په د ګرانو ګرانو ټکو باندې نه پوهېږي نو سبا به 8 بجې به زه په پښتو کې خبرې کوم نو کوم ملګري چې زما په انګریزي باندې نه پوهېږي نو هغه دې بیا سبا 8 بجې راشي نو په پښتو کې به خبرې کوو. Very good, Salim. Yes, exactly. Physics is modern day Sufism. Wow, beautiful. I love it. Okay. Chaudhry Abdullah Salim, please join the groups. I like people like you who have such ideas. That physics is modern day Sufism. Wow. You made my day. I am so happy now. Thank you. If you go and study physics with this angle, you will love it. You will consider it as a book of novel. You will be reading physics like literature, like drama, like movie. So Asif Khan, I'm sure that you won't change your decision. Go for physics. You can take some other art subject, maybe literature or language, but physics, don't leave it. With political science, I told you, Suhail, that already, I remember that I told you, go for political science. That was my spiritual decision. And I don't know at this time, I can find the list of the subjects. CSS optional subjects. So let's see. Economics, computer science, political science. I also like, computer science. You should go for computer science. Exactly, Asif Khan. Yes, love physics. Go for it. Yes, the quantum physics, that is also very good. So what are compulsory subjects? You have no choice. So that is prescriptive decision making. While in optional subjects you have choice. In the group 1 you have accounting, auditing, economics, computer science, political science, international relations. So if you take political science, so you can't take international relations. I will go for political science. International relations, again, a very interesting subject. We have a group on international relations. Group 2, physics, chemistry, applied mathematics, pure mathematics, statistics, geology. So again, physics is here for 200 marks. If you are very good in mathematics, nothing bad in that, because you have secure, science, as I told you, Farah Ilahi, how you connect Sufism and physics. Please join our spirituality group. There we will discuss such things. Because physics, Einstein totally changed the dimensions of physics when he says E is equal to mc square. When matter, like this matter, it becomes energy. It is dissolved into energy, and then you have fission and fusion reactions. From a small particle, you can generate so much electricity, which can be, which can run your whole city. So then that is Sufism. Sufism is basically working on your soul. Soul is your vital force, which is inside you, which is the combination, the totality of your energy is called soul. And Sufism is for soul. That's why you can combine matter and non-matter, matter and energy. Okay, so let me 5 minutes on these subjects only. Then we will discuss the other questions. So in group 3, you have business administration, public administration, governance and public policies, town planning and urban management. So I have delivered lectures on public administration, governance and public policies, town planning and urban management. Not so far business administration, but on the 3, and all these 3 are highly interesting. Governance and public policy you can cover just in 3 days, in 2 days. It's a very, very interesting subject. Public administration is a little more theoretical. Town planning, I have 2 lectures on town planning on the management sciences group. So please listen to those lectures and then you can decide for yourself. But I will go in this group for governance and public policies. Very interesting. And tomorrow, if you are public administrators, so you will find governance and public policy more like interesting as compared to other subjects in this group. Then we come to group 4, history of Pakistan and India. My next lecture will be on Pakistan history, India. I have not delivered lectures so far. Islamic history, I have delivered one introductory lecture. British history, European history, history of USA. I love history of USA because for me, USA is the superpower of the world. The only superpower of the world is United States. This is a reality, a bitter reality, a harsh reality. So how USA, I have been to USA like more than 15 times, and I have seen their society, how this country became so much powerful. So USA history is very much interesting, but Indo-Pak history is our own history. So again, that is interesting, from sultans and Mughals and Suris and British period. I will be discussing this in detail in my next lecture. So group 5, to select one subject. Okay, gender studies, love it. Environmental sciences, again very good. Agriculture and forestry, I have studied myself agriculture, great subject. Botany, zoology, English literature and Urdu literature. I request if somebody can help me in organizing Urdu group. I love Urdu. I remain Urdu poet sometime, so I love it. Please come for Urdu literature. English, I have done almost my MA English in English literature. Very good subject. So we can discuss this in detail. Law, we have a law and criminology group. So join that. Constitutional law is interesting. International law, I have delivered the other day a lecture on international law. Very, very interesting subject because this is evolving. Even the word international law is disputed. Can you call it law? Because there is no enforcement. Although there is international Interpol. So Great Britain was a power. So that's why I say USA is power. In today's life, USA is power. So why not to study the current power as compared to the past power? Because USA is the only superpower, while Great Britain, France, Russia, these are great powers. Pakistan is middle power. Somalia may be not at all a power. So this is the discussion in international relations. What is power and which country is power and which is not power? Okay, group 7, journalism, mass communication, psychology, geography, sociology, anthropology, Punjabi, Sindhi, Pashto, Baluchi, Persian, Arabic. My own subject was Persian. I don't know how many of you are interested in Persian. I love it. My subjects were Persian, Indo-Pak history, agriculture. Yes. So Arabic, we have a group on Arabic with Naeem Khan. If you are interested in languages, so you can go instead of like regional languages, why not Arabic and Persian, one of these two. And today my topic was also your occupational groups. So your optional subjects have to do a lot with your occupational groups. As I said in my other video, that I know a little Uzbek language, and I think that they assigned me foreign service only on my one question in Viva. And when they told me, can you speak Uzbek? And I said, yes, I can speak. And I invented some Uzbek language sentences. I was not so fluent. Even today, I'm not fluent in Uzbek. So if you like foreign services, so why not Persian and Arabic? Think over it. It is not difficult. You can learn an international language, and it can help you a lot as an impression being a candidate for your foreign services. If you are going for administrative services, so then governance, public administration, that is good. And accounts, if you are going for account subjects, so then accountancy, if you have some background, accounting and auditing, 200 marks. It is not difficult subject. Economics. So the selection of optional subjects will help you a lot in your Viva, in your interview. So that is important. Think over it. This is, decision making. I have delivered 1 hour lecture on how to make decisions. So if you join me later, decision making is an art and it is a science. Spiritual decision only, constitution law, philosophy or criminology. Good. Suhail Shahwani. And if I get 20 more people like Suhail Shahwani, so this world will become easier and a happy place. You are such a great man, Suhail Shahwani. You are running your essay group in excellent way. We in Pakistan, especially the people, that make decisions, but they can't pursue. And then they leave it. Would you like to become an admin of a group? Yes, why not? Come on. And they start a group and then they disappear. Even I don't remember their names. So that is not the way. So spirituality is important in decision making, because I told you scientifically there are 2 ways that you can make decisions. One is intuitive, inside, gut feelings, and this is spiritual. And the other is philosophical, that is reasoning, arguments, facts and figures, decide model. So then that is reasonable. Yes, I'm not teaching Asif Khan. I'm already a foreign service officer. I am not a teacher. Don't take me as a teacher. I'm not a teacher. But yes, I facilitate you to discuss environmental sciences. We have a group. Again, the admin were very good, but these days they are a little passive, not so dynamic. So Aurangzeb, Aurang Khan Tareen, and they are we have a group, environmental sciences. Join that group, participate, comment, write, discuss, criticize, argue with each other. Then it will become your it will become part of your mind. Okay, Sadia, so you want that I should go? You are just thanking me. If you have any questions, so please ask. I didn't see the questions because I was reading the list of the optional subjects. So, Tabinda, every person makes different decisions every other second. Your lecture made decision-making process fun and creative. Exactly, Tabinda, fun and creative. Enjoy things in life. Be happy. Happiness is very important. If you are not happy, so then you will be not taking good decisions. So this is why we have a group, happiness and spirituality. These are the 2 groups which I love. Go and participate there. If someone's mind was clear, but after facing some situation, one is not clear, confused, in doubt. So what should one do? Sadia Muhib, this is why you have to take another decision. And then that is metacognition. As I told you, metacognition. Think over your decision again. You may take a wrong decision. So again, the decision is counter decision. You made a decision and now you are undeciding that decision. This is called de-learning. One is learning and the other is de-learning, unlearning. You learn something and then you want to forget it. Go to hell. So that is when you are taking decision against your decision. So again, this is a challenge. And for that, clarity of mind is again necessary, that why you took a wrong decision and now how you can clarify your situation. So all this, the things are relative. Nothing is absolute. The only thing absolute in this universe is God. This is why he is God. We are not gods, so we are relative. One thing is related to another thing. Once you become, you cannot become God. I'm sorry to say, I was going to say when you become God. So you cannot become God. That's why you have to have alternatives. That's why you have to take decisions. God says kun fayakun. God said it is and it is there. While human beings have to take decisions. Please recommend a book for casual reading. So Farah Ilahi, I love the book, Will Durant book, Pleasures of Philosophy. Start from that. Pleasures of Philosophy. And join our group Philosophy with Naeem Khan. Excellent group, we can make it. Okay, Abdullah Salim, good. Yeah, Pakistan Standard Time, 8 p.m. tomorrow. We will be, I'll be live again on Pashto and what is the other thing? I even forgot. So tomorrow again from 8 p.m. onward, Pakistan Standard Time, I'll be online. Thanks, sir. Your group about environmental science. Okay, many people ask me, send me the link and these things. So please don't take me as a usual teacher. I can't remember. We have more than 20 groups. So just in Facebook, search simply environmental sciences with Naeem Khan, philosophy with Naeem Khan, psychology with Naeem Khan, international relations with Naeem Khan in Facebook. Just search it and you will get the link and then join it. You send the request and then the group manager will be accepting your the request and come, because our world is an open world. We are out of the box people, not in box. No, like these typical stereotype platitudes. Please be open-minded. Okay, if I miss somebody question, so please you can write it again. I'm seeing the comments above. Munib, please provide the list of all the groups you management. I don't manage any group, okay? I'm not administrator of any group, Munib Kambo. I need people like you to manage it for me, because I am not like, I can't manage each and every group. But I am there, my presence. You can see my virtual spiritual presence in each group. So you can, I told you how to find the groups. And go on my timeline. So there are the details of those groups. Okay. So if you have no question, okay, Asif Khan. Rashid Hussain, US or Indo history, have studied Indo already for PCS. Okay, I love myself US history because I love the country, United States. And I also love India and Pakistan, Indo-Pak history. So that depends which one you feel easy, which one you love. If you love more India and Pakistan than United States, so go for Indo-Pak history. My own subject in CSS was Indo-Pak history. And I had like more than 20 books on Indo-Pak history, and that was a wrong decision. You should have 1 or 2 books. A lot of knowledge is also not good. Post it 3 times. Okay. So go for Indo-Pak history. If you love it, Rashid Hussain, so go for it. Okay. Any other short subject? Okay. There are no shortcuts. remember, 26,000 candidates for CSS and only 200 get the posts, the final allocation. CSS is not an easy venture of your life. Remember, this is not a child game. Thousands of people, they appear, and very few people are selected finally. So don't go for short and long things. Love the subject, understand the subject. Okay, the time is short. So then go for Indo-Pak history, because already you are familiar with it. And US history, again, it will become a totally new subject for you. So go for Indo-Pak history. I can't decide things for you. I can tell you how to take decisions, because decision making is a science. It is an art. It is intuitional. It is insight. At the same time, it is a science. It is reasoning. It is philosophical. So I can tell you how to make decisions, but I can't decide for you. That will be too much if I can decide for you. So if the time is short, then go for Indo-Pak history. That will be a good one. Usually, Indo-Pak history is not a scoring subject, although I don't like the word scoring and unscoring subjects. But usually, because people, they don't understand that history is something which you must understand with historicity and historiography. You become a historiographer before you become a historian. If you have objectivity in history, then you will be a good historiographer. For example, I love Akbar more than Aurangzeb, because I have my own objective approach. I don't like Aurangzeb Alamgir. For many people, he may be a hero, but for me, he was a zero. Because from there, the Mughal empire started, the downfall of Mughal empire started from Aurangzeb Alamgir. So how he can become a hero for you? My hero is Akbar the Great. Because he was a man, he could understand, he was intelligent. He was in India, where even 1/3 of the people were not Muslims. Majority were Hindus. So how can you implement Sharia in the whole of India as tried by Aurangzeb Alamgir? So if you have such an approach to history, and you can have your facts and figures, so then you can go and you can decide things for you, that how Indo-Pak history will be interesting for me. Love it. My second hero in India-Pakistan history is Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah Suri was such a visionary Pashtun Afghan ruler of Indo-Pak history, that today we have his GT road, and today the revenue system, in how the revenue, like this Patwari, Gurdawar, and Tahsildar, and all this system was developed by Sher Shah Suri. Even British, they copied their his system, revenue system, currency system, road system, communication system, postal system. All these systems were developed by Sher Shah Suri. So how you will not take Sher Shah Suri as your hero? So yeah, Saqib Khan, welcome back. Einstein, yes, I already spoke too much on Einstein today. I think you joined late. So Einstein, yes, he's your hero and he's my hero, and he's the hero of millions and billions of people in the world. Great man. That's why the other day I discussed that why not Einstein also becomes our hero. Public administration or governance and public policy. Go for governance and public policy. Public administration and governance, and for what is governance? If you listen to my lecture on governance, what is the difference between governance and government? And what is public policy and what is politics? And what is public administration? Public administration is the practical form of governance. What the government does is called governance, and how governance is done, that is called public administration. And what is the spirituality, or what is the theoretical background for all these things, that is called public policy. Because governance can be in private sector and it can be in public sector. For example, in any governing body, board of directors or board of trustees, they also do governance. So we have to discuss in detail the public administration in such a way that governance become an interesting policy for us. So that's why I already discussed, somebody asked me about physics. So I told that person, that Asif Khan, I think he is Pashtun, and we have a Pashtun Einstein, Saqib Khan. So why not we go for physics? Physics is a very good subject. I love it. And if you study it from Newton point of view, or if you study it from Einstein point of view, so both are great. Both are the propounders. They propounded physics. So it's a good subject. Go for that. Okay. If you have any other quantum theory, yes, Sadia Muhib. Quantum physics is again very much interesting, because if you come from particle and then you go to the astrophysics, to galaxies, and you go to constellations, and you go to different civilization types, so then you go for the whole universe and then multi-universes. And from quantum physics, you start from particles. You start from neutron, positron, and you start from very low gluons, and you nucleus, and strong nuclear forces, and weak nuclear forces. So you start from very low, and this is the beauty of this universe, that what you find in galaxy, the same you find in a small atom. And you know, this combination is so interesting in quantum theory. And then you can attach quantum theory with Sufism, with mysticism, with intuition, with even with mind, with philosophy, because the thoughts, waves, particles, all these things become so interesting that you go for it. So see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. PST again. Thank you very much for your presence. I think it is too early there in Pakistan, and it is too late here in Canada. So this was nice discussion with you people today. We have a group which is optional subjects, selection of optional subjects. Come there for further discussion. I request you people that please comment, please write, please participate. Don't be shy, don't hesitate. If you can write in social media, again I will recommend, if the people are new, The Circle. Please watch this movie, The Circle. You will love it. And once you watch this movie, The Circle, then you will be no more shy in social media. Then you will love it. Then you can make social media as reality. So watch the movie. This is my last advice for today, that watch the movie The Circle. If you have already watched, so then tell me your impression. Did you watch this movie, The Circle? I think it's a new movie. I watched it the other day, and I was like thinking about myself, that why I am so much on social media. So that movie gave me a lot of strength. So go for that. I will watch this movie today. Okay, Sadia, go for it, The Circle, and then you will no more be shy. And the character in that movie is a female, and the way she has given so much beauty to that movie, that is really interesting. So thank you very much. All the best. See you soon tomorrow 8 p.m.